Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at some pretty intense material
So
today.
yeah, this one's got a title that definitely grabs you. Leave your comfort coffin.
Right, comfort coffin. It just, bam, hits you immediately. Forget comfort zone as a nice safe space.
Hmm.
This source calls it a coffin. What is it, velvet lined trap,
Yeah, exactly. A trap where it basically says your dreams go to wither and die.
which is, such a challenge to how we usually think about comfort.
It really is. I mean, our brains are wired for comfort, right? I mean, safety, it means conserving energy. It feels good for a reason.
But this source argues that very instinct, that drive for safety and ease,
Hmm.
that's the main thing stopping us from actually progressing.
That's the core argument. Comfort equals stagnation in this view.
Okay. So our mission here for this deep dive is to really unpack that. Why this strong link between growth and, well, discomfort.
And maybe more practically, what does the source actually tell us to do about it, assuming we buy into this idea?
Yeah, what's the action plan?
Well, the central claim is that the person you want to become, maybe financially successful or physically fit or mentally tougher, that person isn't built where you feel comfortable. That version of you, the source says pretty bluntly, lives on the other side of pain.
The other side of pain. Wow. That's quite a phrase.
It is, and it tries to make it concrete, not just abstract.
Like with the examples it gives.
Exactly. You want, say, more financial success,
Yeah.
then you got to get uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable, asking for raises, pitching your ideas, maybe taking financial risks that feel genuinely scary.
Right. You can't achieve that kind of goal by playing it safe and easy.
Nope. And it's the same logic for physical goals, getting stronger, fitter.
Oh, yeah. He was really direct about that.
Super direct. You want a strong body, then pain is part of the deal. Sweat, soreness, sacrificing immediate comfort. That's just the entry fee.
It calls it the price of glory, I think.
That's the one. No glory without paying that price in discomfort. You just can't build real capacity by staying cozy.
Okay, but what about all the reasons we give ourselves? I'll start Monday, or I just don't have time right now, or I'm not quite ready yet.
Ah, the classic excuses.
Yeah. How does the source handle those?
It sees them less as like legitimate logistical problems and more as symptoms. Symptoms of being stuck in that comfort zone, that coffin, and driven by fear.
Right, there's that line that really stood out to me. You're not stuck, you're scared.
Cuts right through the noise, doesn't it? It basically says the excuses are just fear talking.
And waiting around making those excuses, well, that doesn't build anything.
Exactly. That future version of you doesn't just magically appear. You have to actively build that person.
Huh.
And the source implies it's often done, quote, in silence, in suffering.
So the action it recommends isn't just, dipping your toe out of the comfort zone carefully.
No, it's much more aggressive than that.
Yeah.
It suggests when you feel comfortable, that's your cue to actually do the opposite.
So like lean into the hard stuff.
Yeah. Actively run into challenge, run into resistance, run into fear. Those are the source's words.
Run into it, not away from it.
Precisely. That's framed as the only place real growth happens. It uses these really vivid pictures like,
Hitting the gym even when it's pouring rain outside.
yeah, or making that investment even if money feels tight, or, putting your work out there even if you're terrified what people will say.
So it's about the action despite the discomfort. That's the key.
That's presented as the moment you actually break free, when you punch through the coffin walls, as it were, taking action because it's uncomfortable almost.
It's a total reframe. Discomfort isn't the signal to stop. It's the signal that you're on the right path.
That's the essence of it.
Yeah.
And it wraps up with this very sharp final statement.
What was that again?
Domination only begins when comfort ends.
Domination. Strong word. No ambiguity there.
None at all. The message is clear. Stay comfortable, stay limited, stay in the coffin.
Okay, so let's try and quickly tie this together. This source essentially says your comfort zone. It's a coffin for your potential. Real growth, money, body, mindset, whatever. It only happens when you deliberately step into discomfort, into pain, into fear.
And all those excuses we make, just fear echoing inside that coffin.
So the way out isn't avoiding the hard things. It's the opposite. It's running towards them,
Yeah.
actively seeking the resistance.
It's definitely a challenging perspective. Makes you really examine where you might be choosing comfort over growth, maybe without even realizing it.
Absolutely. Which kind of leads us to a final thought for you listening. If this source has a point, if your comfort zone really is a kind of coffin for what you could become,
Yeah.
what specific discomfort, what specific challenge or fear are you avoiding right now? The one that might actually hold the key to unlocking your next level.